We live in such a beautiful place. But you know what? We all grow up, and sometimes our road leads us away from home. We're all on a journey. I'll tell you what, we've got a journey this morning. Come on, it's music time. Remember my friend Mark Fredson? Well, the road he took led him from Port Angeles, Washington, all the way to Nashville, Tennessee. So let's continue that conversation. Mark was born in Port Angeles and went to Franklin Elementary School. He started playing the piano at 8 years old, and in middle school he was put into choir. And there he realized he liked to sing. He formed a band with some of his best friends, and they called themselves The Lonely H. They were together for 12 years and recorded 4 albums. Let's get back to Mark's story. And then you guys picked up and you went to Nashville. So
Yeah.
what was that like for you, going down there as a young man?
Well, coming from a small town and going on the road at the age of 18, right after high school, we had this grand vision of rock and roll stardom. A bunch of long-haired kids at age 18 out on the road in a van, just playing really, really loud old school rock and roll. We were on top of the world, and then going down to Nashville, we definitely we were humbled for sure. We
But I
realized
hear
that
you took Nashville by storm, at least East Nashville by storm when you went down there.
yeah, we were really hungry and really young, and very energetic, and but the playing field down there, just the bar is set so high.
The best of the best.
The best of the best are down there. Some of the best musicians you'll ever see in your life are down there playing for tips. And you really you need to show up or get out. So I think it really upped my game, songwriting wise, performance wise, and like when you have some of the best musicians in the country and in the world down there that you're comparing yourselves to, you really you up your game and you set your bar even higher. So I feel like being in Nashville for all those years, it made me who I am as a musician and as a person, for better or for worse. But I feel like I wouldn't be writing at the level that I'm writing and recording and singing at the level I do without having those years in Nashville and without having that musical foundation that started when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, well, so speaking of songwriting, I mean, you were the main songwriter of The Lonely H, the band with my son Ben and Eric and Johnny. And you still have continued to be a songwriter as well as a musician and singer. So what is your process? How do you come up with ideas and put it together to be something catchy that people want to listen to?
It's a great question. It doesn't follow one certain path. Sometimes, a lot of the time, I would say a majority of the time, I will an idea for a song title or a hook, or I'll usually get the song title or the hook in my mind, and then I'll start singing what I want the chorus to be. So I'll work from the hook to the chorus out, just because I don't want to spend a bunch of time working on verses and a bridge and an arrangement if I don't think that once you leave the chorus, you're not going to get it stuck in your head. So I'll work from probably the most memorable part, or what is traditionally the most memorable part of the song, outwards. Sometimes, I'll start with the verse, but a lot of the time I'll write the chorus in my head before I even touch a keyboard or a guitar, and then I'll put the chords to it afterwards, because I don't want to work inside the box that I have musically, because I definitely do have a box that I feel confined to, that we all do as musicians. But I'll write the melody and everything in my head and kind of have an idea what I think the chord structure is going to be. And then once it's finally all worked out and I have the verses and the chorus and everything, basically kind of a blueprint in my head, then I'll sit down at the piano and I'll kind of put the bones to it. And then I'll start getting an idea of what I want the drum beat to be and what the bass should do, and it's all these just tiny little elements. And some songs I'll work out completely, like what I want the bass to be, what I want the drum to be, what I want the snare fill to be going into the chorus, that I want echo when it comes at the end of the chorus, and I want that last word to echo, up until the start of the second verse. Sometimes I only hear a song as a piano ballad, and then I have to really, really put some work in to figure out what the arrangement's going to be and how the drums are going to sound, if there's going to be an 8th note on the hi-hat, or if it's going to be a 16th note, or if there's going to be hi-hat at all. So, but that's all really fun for me, it's kind of like its own equation and its own problem to solve.
Well, I can hear by the way you're talking about it how passionate you are about writing songs. So I would love to hear some songs. So I think what we should do is take it inside to your piano and let's hear a couple of your songs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or at least one of them.
All right.
Okay.
I can make a lot of money. I can get you all to love me. Don't you laugh, it ain't that funny. Baby, I'm hungry, man.
Well, I could take a jet to Paris, take a living with Thin Aries, drinking red wine on the terrace, never spend a dime on rent. Well, I could aim a little higher, something more than just a trial. I could look into the fire, baby, I'll be president. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, ain't nothing gonna stop me, ain't nobody gonna stop me. Ain't letting nothing stop me again. Well, I could marry Simple Sally, finally buy that bowling alley. We could live down in the valley. It ain't hard to comprehend. Raise a little Jim and Janie. Let them love her, let them hate.
Found some. Let's head on over to Ms. Kramer and see what rhythms she has to teach us today.
So I'm guessing that everyone knew exactly what they were just listening to. Right, a heartbeat. So I want you to think about this. This is so bizarre. So for the first 9 or so months of your life, that's what you listened to 24/7. When you were in your mother's tummy, what you heard all day long was her heartbeat. And not only did you hear it, you felt it around your body. And so as you were growing in there, you just kept hearing and feeling this tum-tum, 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 surrounded by that whole time. That's like a whole school year. That's pretty amazing. So when people say to me, oh, you know what, I can't drum, I don't have any sense of rhythm, I can't keep a steady beat, I look at them and I tell them that story, and I say everybody came into the world with rhythm literally drummed into them by their mother's heartbeat. For some of us, it just takes a little bit of time to practice remembering, right? So today in rhythm class, we are going to explore keeping a steady beat. So I got my trusty rhythm sticks with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing a steady beat. Now while I'm playing this steady beat, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to start doing something with this beat. You can step it out, You can clap it out, you can pat it out, you can snap it out. Just do something with this steady beat. You might even not do the same thing each time. You might just kind of move with it. But you're somehow feeling it in your body. Now let's also count it out. We're going to count it out by eights. Music a lot of times is sectioned in sections of 4. We're going to do 2 of them together and count it out by 8. So let's count that out. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now just kind of keep going while I'm talking. Just kind of feel it. We're going to do some challenges with this steady beat today. And we're going to see if you can keep that steady beat going while you're not hearing it, and then when you're not even hearing it or seeing it. All right, so we're going to take a couple of breaks here. So we're going to take a 8-beat break. Let's do that, okay? So it's going to be that count of 8. So I'm going to stop playing, but you're going to see my stick still playing. I'm just going to cut out the sound. And when I cut out the sound, you're going to still see this, but you have to keep it going, and then I want you to come back in with me and see if you're on the same beat when I come back in. That was kind of confusing, but I think you got it. All right, so let's try it. We're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Back in. How'd you do? You got to see it, but you couldn't hear it, right? Let's try it again. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and go. Come back in. There you go. Now, don't worry, if when you came back in, you were on a totally different beat than I was. Everybody dances to a different drummer, right? So you just jump back on the steady beat with me if you're off, and if you were actually completely on, just keep it going, okay? All right, so now, when I stop, you're not gonna see the sticks, you're not gonna hear the sticks. It's just gonna be you on your own, and then we're all gonna come back in together and see if you can come back in with me. All right, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and go. Come back in. How'd you do? Now, did you keep your body moving? Did you keep your hands clapping? Did you count out loud? You can do all of that. It's up to you to figure out how you're going to keep that steady beat when I'm not playing it with you. So even though I stop, doesn't mean that you got to stop, right? So you just keep it going and then hope that we're back on the same track when I come back in. Let's try it again. 5, 6, 7, 8, and go. Come back in. How'd you do that time? Pretty good? All right, again, if you don't have it yet, don't worry about it. Hey, kindergarten to 6th grade, for some of us, we kind of still remember this, and we can hold this pretty easily, and some of us, we just got to do more remembering, so no big deal. All right, so now I'm going to try to challenge you even more. Now when I stop, instead of looking at me, I'm going to have some pictures going across your screen. So while the pictures go across your screen, you still have to keep that beat going in your head, in your body, and then come back in with me in the end. All right? All right, next challenge. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and go. Come back in. How'd you do? A little distracting, huh? All right, let's give it another go. 5, 6, 7, do it again, and go. Come back in. All right. Last challenge. We're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do it for longer. We're going to do it for 2 sets of 8. When I do it for 2 sets of 8, I'm going to count 8s twice. You can also just count all the way up to 16 because 8 plus 8 is 16, or 8 times 2 is 16. teeny, either way. All right, picture's gonna come back on the screen. This is gonna be a long one. See if you can hold it and come back in with me. Ready? Let's get our feeling for our beat here. 5, 6, 7, 8, and go. Come back in. There it is. All right. 5, 6, 7, 8, and stop. Yes. All right, my friends. That was rhythm class for today. Can you still feel it? I can still feel it. Ooh, part of the magic of music. Very cool. All right, practice. Hey, practice keeping a steady beat. Go find a song. See if you can find the steady beat in that song. Get it going, then turn off the song. Just the volume, gotta keep the song going, right? And then turn the volume back up and see if you're still on the same steady beat. Excellent. All right, take care, my friends. We will see you next time. Bye.
Funny how this PB&J makes me think of the elements of music. So why don't we head on over to Mr. Reynolds to his Elements of Music class.
Last week, we talked all about musical form. Now, form is the way that music is arranged or put together or constructed so that it's something that we like to listen to. It's the way that music flows from one part of the song to another. It's the roadmap that the song follows. Think about any song that you really like. It will probably follow some sort of pattern, like verse, chorus, chorus. Then, if you listen to a new song, you're likely going to expect it to follow a similar kind of pattern. Now that pattern is the song's form. If you're like me, your life follows a sort of pattern as well. I get up, I eat my breakfast, and then I get ready for my day. But then, this is when things get really interesting. Where do I go now? Am I headed to work? Boring. Am I going on vacation? Yeah. Or am I just going on a jog, which I probably should do? Let's find out together. Each day begins the same way, but ends with something different. There's a musical form that follows a pattern just like this. It's called the rondo form. Now, a rondo follows the A-B, A-C, A, D, A, E, etc. pattern. It keeps coming back to the A section. But then every other part of the song is unique and is never repeated. You never hear it again. Just like your day. It may start out the same way every single day, but you never truly know where it's going to go. I think that the familiarity of the A section is very important. It grounds you. It gives you a sense of home. No matter where your day or the song takes you, you can be confident that when all is said and done, you will always end up back home. And home is a wonderful place to be. This is the rondo form. Remember, A, B, A, C, A, D, A, etc. Now remember that wherever the song goes, it always comes back to the A section. Let's listen to a song that shows us the rondo form. This song is called Hoedown, and it is by the American composer Aaron Copland. Now, Hoedown is from the ballet Rodeo. You probably know that a ballet is like a play, but they dance instead of speak. And a hoedown is also a type of folk dance. So this song is a dance about a dance. I think that's pretty cool. Now this version of the hoedown is by the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's a rock and roll take on an orchestral classic. I hope you enjoy. Well, that's rondo form. A really fascinating form that you don't get to see used very often in modern music. Thanks for watching Elements of Music. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Oh, hi there. When I'm out in the woods, I just feel like singing. But speaking of that, let's head on over to voice class with Mr. Cobb.
It was a snowing, the wind was blowing, the snow was falling all around me. I was a sliding, my feet were gliding. It was a perfect winter day. What a perfect day to build a snowman, build a snowman, build a snowman. What a perfect day to build a snowman, a perfect winter day. I don't particularly like the winter. I always get a head cold. I think it's cold and wet and messy and sloppy, just a perfect winter. If you like that sort of thing, I have a headache. My eyes itch, my nose is clogged. Oh, I feel crummy on this perfect winter day. It was a snowy, don't particularly like the wind. The snow was falling, always yellow, ahead me cold. I was a slide, think it's cold, I'm wet and dusty and sloppy. Just a perfect winter day. If you like that sort of thing, what a perfect day to build a snowman. Build my eyes itch, build my nose is clogged. What a perfect day to build a snowman on this perfect winter day. What a perfect day to build a snowman. Build my eyes itch, build my nose is clogged. What a perfect day to build a snowman on this perfect winter day. Yes, it's a perfect winter day.
Wow, we sure go to a lot of amazing places together. Well, I'll see you next week for Music Time.